Hey there, John Cowan with Ultra Realty with another Monday morning real estate message. And thank goodness fall has arrived. And so I thought it'd be a great time to talk about some fall home maintenance. It's a great time to be outside, and it's a really good time to go around the exterior of your home and look for things that really need to be done before we get into a lot of moisture during the fall and winter with ice and that sort of thing. And so I thought I'd dedicate today to some of those maintenance items. So it's a great way to protect your investment and maybe even embellish, because these are all things that would be important to do if and when you were trying to get an appraisal on your home for refinancing, or if you ever look to sell. So again, welcome to fall. I'm with Ultra Realty of Texas. I'm located here in Richardson. So let's get into some home maintenance items. I want to start with the roof. Let's just start at the top. And folks, this is a good time for the roofers to come out and do an inspection because they're not terribly busy this time of year. And by the way, if you need any suggestions on contractors, please contact me. My clients know to check with me and not go to Google or some other source first. And let me at least give you a couple of names that could be helpful. And a roof inspection should be free. Do not pay for that, okay? Here's a couple of things that are really critical to look at. Let the roofer get up there, number one, okay? So you're not climbing up on the ladder and walking around on the house. They know what they're looking for. They may even make recommendations if they see something that could be an insurance claim, okay? But things that you can look at from the ground. You want to clear any low-hanging tree limbs. There's a lot of reasons to do this. Number one, they'll scrape granules off your shingles and shorten the life of your roof. You want to make sure that you have your valleys clear of any debris and tree limbs and leaves that clog and make a dam and hold water, and then they go back underneath the shingles. These are all really critical items. Also, something that a lot of people miss is your gable end louvers or any of your vents that are screened. It's important to have attic insulation when we get into the moisture time of the year like we have. And also, you want to keep all the little critters, rodents and squirrels out of there. And the roof inspection can also look for indications of any squirrel or rodent chewing and damage that they can create. And if you ever hear a little pitty-pat in the middle of the night, you could very well have some critters getting inside the attic. Okay, chimney and fireplace, really, really important here. The roof inspector will look at those items when they're up there on the roof, but you can also, of course, have a professional chimney cleaning done. I'm seeing advertisements around $200 from a very well-known group here in town, and that is very important from a safety standpoint, but that's the inside of the chimney, okay, all the way down to the flue. And what I'm looking at also is on the exterior of the house, you may have brick on your chimney from the roof up, or you could have a wood siding or some type of siding. It's important to make sure those are very well sealed and not leaking. Caulking around the valleys around the chimney is also a very critical place for water leaks. So have that checked out. And also, when the chimney is clean, they can come on the inside and check your damper and the flue there to see if it's sealed properly. Big deal, gutters and downspouts. Okay, you're going to want to do this often between now and the end of the year, or at least until the leaves have fallen. Okay, you want to consider maybe putting a leaf guard on. And I've got a gutter company I've used for years, and I was really surprised at how nominal the cost can be for them to come out and install a type of leaf guard, which will really stop those leaves from clogging up the gutter. Okay, you want to also look at the support brackets on your gutters and make sure those things aren't pulling loose. If they do, they'll let water go behind your gutter onto your fascia and possibly underneath your shingles. Okay, you want to make sure those downspouts are clean, they're not leaking where they connect onto the gutter. And you also want to consider, very inexpensive to do, add an extension piece to the bottom of the downspout to channel all that water away from the foundation. Okay, so I also want to talk about water penetration and getting into the paint and caulk. So you want to look at all your siding and brick. Okay, it's important because there's a lot of little places where openings can be created. If you've got caulk that's cracked or coming loose from your brick, moisture can get back behind there. You want to look at the fascia and soffits. The fascia is usually a 1x6 around the house where the roof changes into your wood fascia, and then the soffit underneath. You want to look at your corners all around the house. Those are typical spots for those pieces of wood to open up, okay? And naturally, around your windows and doors. Very important to avoid leaks around your windows, but also just air and water can get in at those spots. Make sure you've got a good caulk joint all around your windows. Doors, great to look at your weather stripping. Weather stripping, folks, is very simple now at the big box stores, inexpensive. Buy it by the piece, add it yourself. You don't have to have a professional weather stripper come out, but they're available if you do want that. It's a great time to go ahead and paint touch up around the house. If you see some spots that are dried out and cracking a little bit, and if you can add some paint to that, it'll help seal that and keep it from having further damage through the fall and winter. Not a bad time to add a fresh coat of paint to your exterior doors. Just make them more waterproof. If you have stained doors, you can add a new poly coat. Okay, real simple things to do. But again, caulking and weather stripping, really critical. One of the last items I wanted to cover is trees and shrubs and driveways, walkways, and also some safety items. So you want to make sure you get all those limbs off the roof like we talked earlier. Great time to prune is after the leaves have started turning. Okay, that's a good indication of time to go. And drives and walkways, you can look at your cracks. You'll see little cracks in different spots. Folks, you can go down to the big box stores and buy a crack sealer that for concrete that you can keep water and then ice and possibly expanding and making those cracks worse. You can solve that. And HVAC, change your filter. And if you leave your windows open this time of the year, you may need to change that filter at least every month, okay? But have your furnace checked out by a professional HVAC contractor, especially if you have gas, to make sure you don't have any carbon monoxide issues, okay? Very important. Big deal. People never think about it. Your dryer vent, okay? This time of year, you get a lot more static electricity, okay? And you can clog the flexible lines. They're very easy to get clogged, and you never know it until it could be too late. You can look on the outside where there's should be a cover flap, and sometimes critters have a tendency to crawl up in there. I don't have time to get into the funny story, but let me just tell you, when you're back here trying to unclog a vent behind the dryer, wedged between the dryer and the wall, and you reach down to clean out the vent and two little eyes are staring at you, yes, it did happen to me. Don't let it happen to you. But clean that out, stop any fire potential issue there. Folks, that's it for today. I just wanted again to touch on some items while the weather really can be nice. Temperature is down. Get out and take care of some of these things. Call me and let me recommend some contractors if you need it. John Cowan, Ultra Realty. Don't forget to go to my social media sites. Please like me, share me, and follow me. Okay, till next week. Thank you.